What's up, gamers? It's a Concealed Gamer bringing you guys a very informative Destiny 2 video. In this video I will be informing you guys on how to dominate the feared Crucible and prepare you guys for the competitive trials. Now make sure you guys sit back, watch, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, and let's get on to it. So a lot of people have been asking me questions about how I have been working my way around the Crucible settings in this game. They have changed a lot since Destiny 1, and with the implementation of 4-man teams fighting each other, it can be very, very different for people to adapt. So moving on to our first tip, have an organized team. Now, I cannot stress this enough. When you go into the Crucible, you will be fighting multiple people at a certain point. So you're going to have to adapt to fighting more than one person at a certain time. It's much more different than what the first Destiny used to be because of the 6v6s. Not everyone in that 6v6 were in a group together, probably like 1 or 2 players. But now that it's only 4v4, you're going to be going against people that are in a party chat and communicating to destroy you basically. So you're going to want to prepare to play smart and fight multiple people, and in doing that you're going to need a very good team of players that you know and that are going to be able to communicate with you and call out players' positions and things of that sort. Especially with trials coming up soon, you're going to need a tip-top team in order to make it a flawless run, and doing the Crucible now can definitely help prepare you for the trials. It is basically team play, who can outsmart the other team the most and who can play more objective wise and smart. If you go in by yourself into the Crucible nowadays, you will notice that everyone will travel in packs of 2, 3, or 4s even, and it is just destructive if they are doing that, and they will just swipe through the entire team and most likely dominate you guys. So that's why the #1 tip I would give would be to have an organized team of friends that you can play with, and to just call out bases and people and where people are and stuff like that in order to get that advantage over players. So team organization. With that being said, moving on to our next tip, weapon selection. Now with this being a fairly new game, a lot of people are trying out all of the weapons that they get. Maybe you're not fully leveled to 20, which I would recommend before going into the Crucible, but a lot of people are trying out just random rare weapons and hand cannons, scout rifles, anything they can get their hands on. But with this game being a lot more different than it was to Destiny 2, there is a new meta and a lot of people are going to grasp onto it. The first thing I'm going to let you guys know is that the assault rifles are really powerful in this game, as well as pulse rifles. Hand cannons are really not that strong as they used to be. You're not going to be landing that many shots with a hand cannon if your opponent can move well. So it's going to be really difficult to face off with a person and hopefully win, because if they're going to be moving, it's going to be difficult to land your shots. But I'm not saying that they're nerfed to the ground or they're just horrible, but like, you can use them. But a lot of people are using auto rifles and they are really strong. Now the guns I would recommend you guys to use, in this video I managed to put out 42 kills in a single match, and what I was using was the Perseverance secondary auto rifle with the Nightshade primary with a shotgun as my heavy. Now the main reason I told you guys to level up to 20 before you touch the Crucible is because there are a lot of weapons out there that you guys haven't seen yet and that you guys haven't been exposed to. For example, Zavala gives out a really good auto rifle, and so does all the other people and vendors out there. So you want to be exposed to getting these guns. Now one of the very best auto rifles, in fact 2, are called the Origin Story and Uriel's Gift. I've been getting destroyed by these 2 auto rifles left and right in the Crucible. Without a doubt, these 2 auto rifles are really strong. So if you're using a hand cannon against one of these people using one of these 2 auto rifles, it's going to be very difficult to outgun them in a face-off. but this is just an example of what the meta basically is in Destiny 2. These guns are just very strong. The hand cannons and scout rifles are sadly kind of weak. They may be really strong, but they're just really hard to use as well. The Mida multi-tool is also pretty good, but like I said, they're really situational weapons, the hand cannon and the scout rifle. Why have something only be long range or medium range when you can have an auto rifle which can basically be both? And with the origin story and the Uriel's gift, the recoil is very stable on them, so you can basically gun down people from pretty far away. So that's just one of the many reasons why you guys should use those two guns. But go out there and experiment with the weapons. Make sure you guys level up to 20 before you go and start. So to sum all that up, basically what I'm telling you guys to do is make sure you guys have a really good set of weapons before you go into the Crucible. A lot of people are just jumping straight into the Crucible, being like a level 5 or a level 14, and just using really bad weapons at that level. So you're going to want to level yourself up and be exposed to all these legendary weapons that you can get your hands on, and definitely experiment with them and find out which one works for best for you. In my personal opinion, pulse rifles and auto rifles work best for me. With that being said, moving on to our third tip, which is very important, your gear attributes on your gear pieces. Now, a lot of people put on random gear pieces with the highest light. Let me tell you, focus on this right here: your mobility, your resilience, and your recovery. For Crucible, everything is balanced. Let me repeat that: everything you put on is balanced. So no matter what gear piece you put on, doesn't matter if it has the highest light level or the lowest light level, it will still be balanced with what other players are using. It is a normal scale rating for your weapons and your gear pieces. So for me, being a hunter, I like to be on the move a lot. It's also my gameplay style. I like to take down people, move out of the way, and just like resituate myself. So me being the player that I am, it would make sense for me to invest into mobility. And as you saw earlier, I had up to 9 points mobility on my character. And that mobility is actually going to help you move quicker and be more agile. Now, if you're a more defensive player and you like face tanking people and just running up in the middle of a bunch of players, it would make sense that you would throw on resilience on your character for your gear pieces. So you're going to want to look for gauntlets or chest pieces that have resilience attributes that you can equip for your characters to increase those stats. It doesn't matter what light level your gear pieces are, just make sure you focus on the attributes that they give you. If you're a more cautious player and you take damage and like to sit back and recover, then you're going to want to invest in recovery on your gear pieces in order for you to do that effectively and better than other players. So again, a lot of players just oversee this and they just throw on whatever gear that they want with the highest light, thinking that they will do more damage or be tankier in the Crucible. But literally everything that you have is balanced out for a reason, so it could be somewhat of a fair play between everyone. So it doesn't matter how high your light level is for your exotic that you just got or how low it is, they will be balanced out for you guys. So just make sure when you're putting on gear, you should have two different build setups, one for PvE and one for PvP. They should be totally different. Before I go to PvP, I make sure that I have my PvP build on with all my attributes of what I want. So I'll switch to mobility or resilience and not too much recovery. And for PvE, I'll spec into more resilience. So you're definitely going to have different builds for different game modes, and make sure you guys pay attention for that. Moving on to our fourth tip, warming up properly. Now, a lot of players out there just oversee this and go straight into the Crucible expecting to do well. Now, a lot of people you encounter will have had hours under their belt that current day. So as you can imagine, as I just put up these 42 kills, I didn't just hop on and put together that amazing match. I was playing, believe it or not, a couple hours before I actually played that match. So I would greatly recommend that you guys go jump in a few public events, go run some strikes, get your accuracy where it needs to be on NPCs, just go practice. You're going to be at a heavy disadvantage going up against players who have been playing hours that day, and you just hopped on just to play some Crucible and expecting to do well, nonetheless, it will be very frustrating for you. So just save yourself and just go practice a little bit. You will notice the difference tremendously, because almost everyone is rusty when they first log on. So I do it. I hope you guys do it. It will help you guys out a lot. But moving on to our next tip. Now, last but not least, tip 5, play smart. Now, this sounds common as well and very simple, but guys, the more you play this game, the more you will pick up on other people's traits, what they do, how they aim, how they jump, stuff of this sort. So you're going to need to learn it. You're going to need to play smart. In a lot of situations when you're fighting someone, if you're taking damage first, you're most likely going to lose that fight. So you always want to get the jump on someone before they get the jump on you. You got to know when to bail and when to not. So if I'm facing off with someone and I know that I'm going to kill them, you're going to continue killing them. But if you're fighting someone and they got the first shot on you and you're half health and you're going to face off with them, it would be a better idea to run it off and get a better angle on them, because you're most likely going to lose that fight. Now, as you can see, when I'm low health here, I get the hell out of there, or at least I try to. If I have heavy ammo, I'm going to push a little bit more, but just rushing in like I did right there was a very stupid move, and you're going to want to play pretty smartly in order to gain an advantage over players. Don't be stupid and just run into a full team of players and be by yourself. Like I said, a lot of people in this game, since they converted it to 4v4 over 6v6, a lot of people are playing together as a team now. Yeah, it makes sense because it's a team versus team, but you just can't be rogue and go do your own thing. And I mean, you can if you're good at it, but you just can't expect to be successful 100% of the time. You can't just go running into groups of 4, because they will focus fire the hell out of you, and that's without sugarcoating it. So just make sure you play smart, know when you're going to win a fight, know when to bail and when to get out of there, especially when popping supers or supercharges. Don't go in the middle of a bunch of people and just pop your arc strider and expect to face tank all of those bullets, survive, and kill everyone. I usually like to go behind a wall before I pop a super, just for that protection, and then quickly rush people. You'd never want to run to someone head on. It's just asking to get mowed down, but you're always going to want to be mobile and moving as fast as you can and smartly as possible, and knowing your surroundings as well. Get to learn the maps, because that will definitely help you get an edge. And if you incorporate all these tips, I can guarantee you guys, you will be much better in PvP in the Crucible. Don't give up, just keep trying. We all have our bad games and we all have our great games, but the more that you practice, the better that you will do. If you guys found this video helpful, make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more awesome content. Comment any questions, comments, or concerns below in the comment section, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace out. Thanks for watching.